Loss aversion. Why losing hurts more than winning feels good. Understanding this psychological bias is crucial for making better investment and spending decisions. Loss aversion is one of the most powerful forces shaping human behavior, especially when it comes to money. Loss aversion is a cognitive bias where people feel the pain of losing something more intensely than the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. In simple terms, the pain of loss is greater than the joy of gain. Losing $20 feels worse than finding $20 feels good, even though the amount is identical. The psychological impact of loss aversion is profound. When someone loses $100, it creates a strong negative emotion that lingers in memory for a long time. However, gaining $100 creates only moderate positive emotion that fades relatively quickly. Our brains are wired to remember and react more strongly to losses than to equivalent gains. Research has quantified this phenomenon. Studies show that losses are psychologically twice as powerful as gains of the same magnitude. This is known as the 2-to-1 ratio. To feel as good about a gain as bad about a loss, the gain needs to be approximately twice as large as the loss. Loss aversion manifests in several real-world examples. The endowment effect occurs when people demand more money to give up an item than they would pay to acquire it. Status quo bias leads people to prefer their current situation to avoid potential losses from change. The sunk cost fallacy causes people to continue investing in something just to avoid recognizing past losses. Loss aversion significantly impacts investment decisions. Investors often hold onto losing stocks for too long, hoping to break even rather than cutting their losses. They also tend to sell winning investments too early just to lock in gains and avoid the risk of losing them. Additionally, people avoid necessary portfolio rebalancing because they fear making changes that might result in losses. Loss aversion also affects everyday spending habits. People keep unused subscriptions because canceling them feels like wasting the money already spent. Marketing messages that say save $50 are more motivating than earn $50 back, even though the outcome is the same. Shoppers buy items on sale not because they need them, but to avoid missing out on savings. Overcoming loss aversion requires deliberate strategies. First, recognize the bias by acknowledging when fear of loss is driving decisions. Second, focus on long-term outcomes rather than past investments. Third, set clear rules and predetermined criteria for buying and selling decisions. Fourth, reframe losses as learning opportunities and essential parts of growth rather than failures. Here are practical tips to combat loss aversion. Wait 24 hours before making emotional financial decisions to allow rationality to return. Keep a decision journal to track patterns in choices and identify bias. Seek objective advice from trusted advisors who can provide perspective. Diversify investments to minimize the impact of individual losses. Use data and metrics instead of relying on gut feelings. Finally, practice emotional detachment from outcomes to reduce the psychological impact of losses. The key takeaway is this: understanding loss aversion helps make more rational decisions by recognizing when fear of losing is overshadowing potential gains. By being aware of this bias, anyone can make better financial choices, avoid common traps, and achieve long-term success. Master your emotions, and you will master your decisions.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.